Sorry I'm late. It's been one of those mornings. Just thought I'd say I'm live. So a little bit later than usual, thanks to the joys of my laptop going into slow-mo. But we're here. So as you join, let me know you're here and let me know where you're joining from. So I'm just clearing out some rubbish. So today we are going to be using the frames and flowers. Hello, Nora. Which is an interesting, slightly different pack from Stampin' Up. And we're going to be doing packaging. So I'm going to find my album. Catalogue, that's the word I'm looking for. And let's find Frames and Flowers, which is here. It's on the Wrap It Up pages. Hello, Karen from a wet Victoria. Well, for what it's worth, bearing in mind we're in, middle of July-esque, miserable. Absolutely miserable. It's muggy, it's wet, it's grey, it's horrible. Hello, Leslie. How are you? And Patricia is here from Melbourne. So let me just flip the camera down because there's me merrily saying what we're looking at. So it's this bit really we're looking at. I don't have Posed Peony, but I do have hello Deborah from Michigan. Patricia's from Melbourne. I think I'm up to date now with who's joined. Say normally I would have started this about 10 minutes ago, but life went screwy. Hello, Elizabeth from Australia. I'm in great need of coffee. I was in the middle of doing my really bodged job of streaming from my phone. And suddenly my software decided it was going to work after all, which was great. Just could have done with it a little bit earlier. So, yes, we're going to be doing packaging. I'm going to show you, most of you will probably know how to make these milk carton things. I'm going to be using the Scalloped gift card box, which is in, I think that might be online only now. Anywho, and I'm going to show you how to make a proper box. Hello, Karen. Is it damp where you are, Karen? It's miserable with us. So this pack is, as I say, it's a bit different because we have 3 sheets of paper. Let me see if I can grab them. Don't have whole sheets of all of them. So we've got 3 patterns. We've got this one, which has got a self tone on the reverse. We've got this one, which I will be using, which is why I've only got half a sheet because and this is, it's almost like it's a sponged surface, so it's not flat colour, it's mottled. And then this large pattern with ditzy flowers on the back. The colours, let me grab the pack, don't need that, why is that out? Let's get rid of it. Early Espresso, Garden Green, Granny Apple Green, Lost Lagoon, Old Olive, Pink, Petal Pink, Pretty Peacock, Pumpkin Pie, Shaded Spruce and Soft Seafoam. It's miserable, isn't it, Karen? It's supposed to be July. What happened? So those are the colours, but the big thing with this pack is, I'm just trying to grab them because they are a little fragile, is this lot. Some of them have fallen out already. So these are the frames and flowers. So you've got lots of die cut pieces. They are slightly prone to coming out of their backings, which is fine because you kind of want them to eventually. This one is kind of rectangular with this long stripe as well, and some of these are full. So there's 3 full pieces and 3 that are frames. I'm using the one that was here. So that is what I am intending to show you. I'm going to do 2 milk cartons, just using slightly different techniques. and a scallop box, and then a self-contained standalone, this is how you do it from scratch box. So I have pre-cut 2 pieces of 6x6. That's the word I'm looking for. 6x6. I've got somewhere, there we are, some tear and tape, and I've got little bits that I want to use. So we've got 2 bits of, or 2 designs of foliage. One is kind of just punched and one is patterned, properly patterned. Hello Mary. Is it disgusting weather in the Netherlands as it is here? So the first thing I'm actually going to do is stamp my sentiment on here and also on a piece of scrap card, if I can find what I need. So I'm actually going to stamp one of my sentiments on the bit that comes out of the middle of this frame, because it's got a pattern on it, and I really don't think you're going to be able to see it, no. But it has got a pattern. It's I looked up to see what grey was in it, and there isn't a grey listed. So this is the Simply Said, which is a really great small sentiment set. So we've got let's celebrate, yay, thinking of you, thank you, happy birthday, miss you, thanks, hello, birthday wishes, and just a note. I'm going to use thanks because it happens to work for the sizing that I've got. I am going to be using a different stamp set for my box, because my box is going to have a sentiment as well, but let's just start by doing these. I'm going to go top. I'm going to go up here. It doesn't actually matter where I go because it depends on how I feed it into the punch, but never mind, I'm going to go there. And yes, let's go diagonal. So we're doing thanks twice. One for one and one for the other. So I've got the oval punch, and what I want is to just punch the bottom. So let's cut it out. That's not what I meant to do, but you know. Now I find that if you find you've got a little bit of a naughty piece of paper or a smaller piece of paper, a post-it note's really good as a handle, which I would be using if my post-it notes were in my studio, but they're not. They're in the house because that's where I'm doing all the packing up for the de-stash items. So that's my small oval. Come on. Out you come. Come on. Thank you. And for my large oval, have I got a scrap big enough? No. So I'm going to find a scrap big enough. That's for that. Where's my other scraps? Again, I want Lost Lagoon. So I don't have a particularly small scrap, so let's use this. So I'm going to layer this on the large oval in Lost Lagoon. Gosh, this is stimulating. I'm showing you how to stamp and punch. It's warm in the Netherlands. We will get the weather you are having it now tonight. Oh, lovely. Cold, wet, code yellow. Yeah, we had a weather warning. Yeah, we had a weather warning for overnight. It was supposed to be late afternoon into 3 o'clock this morning. It actually started deluging as we were going to bed, which was at about 10 o'clock. So that's going to layer on to there, like that. Right, okay, so how do we make the milk carton? So tear and tape is your friend, making sure you know which way the pattern is going. So this is just a piece of 6x6 paper, and you can do pretty much any size you want. I wouldn't go much smaller than 6 inches to go round, because, well, you'll see why. So this is going to be the top end, so this is going to be the bottom end. Now, hopefully that's going to be long enough. I'm going to burnish. So yes, 6 inches wide is about as narrow as I would go. It does get a bit fiddly. So what I would like at the moment is some warmth. Call me old-fashioned, but you know. I mean, today's supposed to be 20 degrees. When I kind of had my breakfast and got dressed and all those things, shouldn't have removed that piece. Excuse me one moment while I just cover that up a bit, because otherwise I'm going to get stuck to everything. There we go. So yeah, got up, went to the greenhouse to have a look at the plants, as you do. It was like walking into a sponge, and that was going out the front door. So this sticky I'm going to overlap onto the other edge. And this is why I say you don't really want anything that is narrower than 6 inches, because it does get fiddly. And do not fold, because you don't want it to be folded. Now I can take that piece off, because now I'm going to squish. So I'm going to squish from the seam along the bottom, and then this goes that way, and that's what makes your triangle milk carton box thing. So I'm going to do it twice. This one I'm going to seal. So this is the one where if you're giving it as a gift, people have to rip it open. I'm going to use liquid adhesive for this. You can use tear and tape, but I generally get it in the wrong place if I use tear and tape. Just saying. So yeah, I walked out the front door expecting it to be cold. I mean, I could see it was going to be damp, but I was expecting it to be cold. So let's just squish that together. But it was just disgusting. It was like walking into a wet sponge. So I'm just going to hold that in place with a fold back clip whilst so this seam I'm going to have so that it's down, because if you have it that way up, the light's going to catch the edge of the paper and you're going to see it. Excuse me one moment. Watery nose. Ooh. Right, so that's that. And all I'm going to do is stick this onto the front, and it's going to be as simple as that. I'm going to use dimensionals. These are actually dimensionals from a kit, but that's fine. So, and I'm just going to put a row of dimensionals down the middle. Hello, Debbie. A sour cream or cream milk carton. So in the UK, when I was a kid at school, this is the shape that our milk used to arrive in. So we were given, I want to say, a third of a pint of milk, and they were in triangular. The reason that's falling over is because that's on it. It's not falling over for any other reason. So yes, sour cream carton, or as I say, in the UK we used to get our milk in these things, and it was UHT, so ultra heat treated milk, and it was always warm because it would have been left in a crate outside the school, and in the summer it was just disgusting. It was either frozen in the winter or warm in the summer. Anyway, so that's your milk carton, sour cream box, whatever you want to call it. Simple as. So let's make a second one, and this time I'm going to do a bit more frou-frou. So tear and tape down one open edge, and this is so that we're going up and down. That's the bottom. And I like to go slightly further than the middle, because then you know you've gone far enough. And again, burnish that down so that it's a really well stuck box. carton. But yeah, they used to come in, the milk used to come in triangular boxes with a straw that you had to burst a hole with. Actually, some of them, they had a little pullback, so a little tab. But yeah. Hello, Shaz. But yeah, it was enough to put a child off drinking milk, frankly. So let's overlap. Oh, tear and tape is sticky. That's for sure. Oop. Hang on, it's not overlapped enough. There we go. So there we go, that is our side seam. So I was watching other people on YouTube yesterday. I've been doing some scrapbooking because I'm so behind with my monthly scrapbooking. I've literally just, no, actually I haven't. I'm in the process of finishing my May scrapbook. Go that way, that's the way I want to go. I've got our weekend away to do, that's all, which is going on to Pocket Pages. It's the one I did for the mini album, and now I'm putting it into my big album. So I'm still having the mini album, which has got all the memorabilia and stuff. There we go. So let's just burnish that and go in there to get that well stuck. So yes, I've got to print off all those photos and pop them into the Pocket Pages, write a bit of stuff. Then I can start on June. I should be on July at the moment. Right, so this is going to be the front because that's where the overlap is. And this time we're going to make it so that you can open it. So I've got my 1/8 inch hole punch, and I'm just going to go in a reasonable way, like that. And I've got, I know it's retired, but it's Lost Lagoon and it's ribbon. So this is the Lost Lagoon bordered ribbon. So that's going through there. Let's cut a reasonable piece. Back, front. So this, you can put stuff in and open and close it. So yes, I was watching other people while I was scrapbooking, and here's the thing. Did you know that if you subscribe and comment and give a thumbs up, you're more likely to get suggestions of videos and channels that are similar to the ones that you like, subscribe and give and comment on. So if you want to see more crafty videos and you want to see a wide selection of crafty videos, the more you subscribe, like and comment and indeed share, the more likelihood you're going to see stuff that you like. Which is my way of saying don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. And if you're watching on the replay, you can comment below the description bar and you'll know it's a replay because it won't say live anywhere. So there we are, that's our box. It's a bit doolally, but it's fine. And that's going to go on there, and I'm going to pop that up. Just with a couple of those. And I want to pop my foliage on. So I'm going to have a piece coming up the way and two pieces going down. So I think liquid adhesive. So yes, today is all about boxes and stuff like that. So packaging, using the whatever this is, frames and foliage. I think it's called that. I don't know, I can't remember. So those do go in different directions. Do I want them to go that way or that way? I think I want them to go that way. So these are a pair, they're not twins. So that's going to go there. You see a yellow thing in the sky? I wish I did. I mean, famous last words, it can't get much worse, can it? I don't know. Shaz, how are you? While I'm putting my brain in gear. How is life? We've got to take one of our cats to the vet, which is rather sad. He's got a lump. Not a lump, he's got a limp. Sorry, we call it a lump. He's lumping. Let's go down there. So actually I can put a dimensional there and a dimensional there. But yes, Pepper he's had a limp on and off for a wee while. And he was in a fight a while ago, but seemed to have been okay after that. But we're now wondering if he pulled something or I don't know. Anyway, so there we are. So those are our two milk cartons, sour cream cartons, whatever we're going to call them. I'm all right. I am all right. I have sent in my letter of resignation. They have accepted it. And I will no longer be a demonstrator at the end of this month. Actually, it'll probably be at the beginning of August because it'll be after the commissions are finalised. So, yeah, I'll be putting in a final order middle of the month. So next, I want to say this weekend, actually. So anyone who's still got vouchers, get them back to me because once that order goes in, that's it. You have been warned previously. I have sent emails on the subject. But, yeah, quite busy, because I'm doing my D-stash, but it's a different sort of busy. So my D-stash, I say I'll get everything out within 3 working days. So, yeah. Hello, Gwen from North Carolina. Thank you. Glad you think they're cute. Anyway, so that's those. Now, the next thing we're going to start, but not finish, is... In fact, I should probably have done that first. So this is one of our scalloped boxes. And demonstrators were able to sign up for an event, an online event called Creativity Now, which was back end of last month. Yeah, back end of last month. And we were shown a technique which I didn't know you could do, which was to use our pearl effects as a sort of swipe. So I have got our pearlized, this is the white pearlized enamel effects, and I've got the Lost Lagoon ink. Now this is not what we were shown. We were shown how to use the coloured ones, and you know what? I want to add colour. So I want to put some Lost Lagoon shimmer onto here. So I've got my Lost Lagoon ink, I've got one of my palette knives, and someone's at our door. Bear with me. Can't see who it is and I'm going to hide. Anyway, because I don't know who it is. So I'm going to pretend I don't know that they're there. So I'm adding some pearl effects to my palette knife. I've probably used too much, but there we go. And, oh, bear with me because they're now knocking at the door. Hold on. Hello, sorry, I'm on a live video. Thank you. Let me know. Thank you. Sorry, it was someone just dropping off a leaflet. Why they couldn't just drop off the leaflet, I do not know. Anyway, so I'm just adding a couple of dots. So I'm not putting the tip of the glue, of the ink, into the pearl. I'm just touching it. And then, now, the corners are going to have bits on. So what goes on there is less of a problem for me. But we can then mix it up and smush it across our, so this is the top of the box. So I'm going to smush it across here. The leaflet that she's handed me, which I've only very briefly glanced at, says Very Senior Olympics. Just saying, really? Didn't think I was that old. So we're doing that, and then I'm going to leave that to dry while I show you how to make the other box. Oh, bless you, Shaz. And ring the bell. Yes, subscribe and ring the bell. Now, I had a wet wipe. There we are. So, wet wipe. Bin. Biodegradable. I know they're still going to take a while to biodegrade, but they're better than non-biodegradable. So that is all shimmery and Lost Lagoon-esque. I know it's mottled, but I'm fine with that. So that's going to go to one side to dry. Okay, box. So I have 2 full-size pieces of Lost Lagoon and a small piece. I need my frame, which I very carefully put to one side, and now I can't see anywhere. Where did I put it? There it is. There it is. So this is the frame we're going to use, and this is the piece of card that's going to go on top. Oh, bless you, Gwen. Thank you. Now, it's got pips. I'm sorry, but it's got pips. Oh, I've just had a thought. Worry, really, isn't it? But it has got quite definite pips. I really can't be doing with those, particularly in the middle. Right. Okay. So somewhere I've got my measurements. There they are. So this is going to be a 5 1/4 by 4 by 2 inch box with a removable lid. Okay. Let's pop those bits there. So I have 2 pieces of Lost Lagoon, which I'm going to cut. Both are going to be cut to... Ooh, no, don't put that on top of your wet thing. To 9 1/4 by 8. Now, this will work whether you are in North America or the rest of the world, because our size card is different. So that's 9 1/4 and 8, because you have 8 1/2 by 11. We have 8 1/4 by 11 something. So that's my 9 1/4 by 8. I need another 9 1/4 by 8. So how long is ours in imperial? So this is 11 5/8 roughly by 8 1/4 roughly. So this I want to cut to 9 1/4. I'm going to cut them both to 9 1/4, and then I'm going to do something, and you're going to think, you're mad, Liz. Why didn't you do that to begin with? So 9 1/4 by 8. So I can then fold that in, which makes life so much easier. So both of these pieces of card are 9 1/4 by 8. They are exactly the same size. But to make life easy, when you are making a box, you want one of them, I'll put it in the bin, to be slightly smaller. Now, you can do that, or slightly larger. You can do that by, well, I'll show you how, but it's weird. So I'm going to take off about a 1/16 of an inch, which, if you've got one of our trimmers, it's the width of this cutting channel. So bring your card to the edge of that cutting channel so you can't see the cutting channel, and just slice that off. It's not a huge piece. it's just enough. So you're doing that on a long edge, and you're doing the same thing again on a small edge. Small edge? No, small edge. So this is going to be the bottom of our box. I'm just grabbing my scoring tool board. Now, the other way of doing it would be for, if you were doing your lid, for example, don't know why I brought that in, would be to bring it out just a little bit before you score. Nah, because you've got to make sure that's the same everywhere on each of your sides. No, let's just score at 2 inches on each side, and we're going to be golden, because this is our base and it's going to work. So that's our base scored at 2 inches all round. This is our lid, and I'm just going to grab a pencil and write lid, because I'm going to cover it up, so it's going to be fine. That way I know which one is which. And again, I'm just putting it in the top left-hand corner and scoring at 2 inches. So I'm scoring at exactly the same point on all 4 sides, and I am turning, because that way I know that I've got that pushed into the corner, and that is therefore 2 inches. If I come over here and I haven't cut everything exactly right, I could end up with things being slightly off. Right, so let's do our base first, for no other reason than I like to start at the bottom and work up. So I'm just going to burnish all my score lines, and then I am going to put my seam into the short edge. So to do that, I'm going to cut up with the score line going into the square here, then trim, and you're basically just taking that score line off, and then just take this off. So you're taking these 2 tiny little pieces off. And we're going to do that again over here. So the score line's going into the square, which would be so much better if I could actually see it. There we are. And then take out. Same again this side, score line into square. Now, because of the dimensions of the box, these flaps are actually going to overlap in the middle, so I will trim them down, because I don't think that's a good look. And it certainly won't be a good look on the lid, because it adds bulk. Same again, so score line into the square. Let's see if I can see it better like that, and I can. Wedge it out and take a wedge, and then I am just going to trim these down so they're about 1 inch. They're not tidy. If you're doing this in, you know, for an actual gift box, I would make them tidy. Hello, Julie. So we're using the frames and foliage, or whatever that paper is in the catalogue that's got all the die cuts, and we're doing packaging. Right, so I'm going to use, actually am I going to use this, or am I going to use tear and tape? No, I'm going to use this. The reason this is a bit scary is sometimes it delaminates the card, so you just have to be a little bit careful, and not knowing exactly where the roller is always fun. So I'm adding By delaminate, I mean pull up. So I'm adding adhesive on all 4 corners. So long as you don't pull too hard, you should be all right and shouldn't delaminate. The darker the colour of card, the more likelihood there is that it will delaminate, because the more dye it's got in it, which means it is a slightly softer card. So I'm going to take this folded edge to this cut edge, and if this doesn't quite meet up, pull this one and push this one, and you can pretty much force it into place, but you want that cut edge on that fold. Same again, cut edge to the fold, cut edge to the fold, and the last one. And we'll be doing exactly the same with our lid. So just burnish those down. Now you can use liquid adhesive, you can use tear and tape. I would not use seal, all I would say. See, it is not strong enough. So same again, this is our lid. I know it's my lid because I've written lid on it. And as I say, we're doing exactly the same thing. So we're going to take this square and cut the score line into the square. All of the score line, please, Liz. Thank you. And then just trim and trim. Score line into the square. Oh, I rewatched the Les Mis yesterday. I haven't seen that film for years. It's brilliant. Love it. But yeah, it's currently in the UK. It's on Amazon Prime. So before it disappears, which it's due to. Hello, Judith. How are you? Judith, remember to send in her vouchers. Score line into square. In fact, she's sent in her vouchers and her friends' vouchers. So her items will be on the order. In fact, they're already on the order for the middle of the month. Because Judith has been a customer of mine for a long while. It'd be very, very nice to have Judith as a customer. So just trimming these off. So we end up with this. So it's going to be the same shape top and bottom. Just going to trim that a wee bit more. Got a bit of score line left. That's better. Right. Let's get rid of those bits. And more seal. As I say, just be a little bit circumspect. Don't yank and rip up your card. If I was doing this in inverted commas, the privacy of my own home, I would use liquid adhesive. Just saying. But it takes longer to dry, which is why I'm using seal. And we're doing exactly the same again. So we're going to take our cut edge to our folded edge and press. Cut edge to folded edge. And then we're going to have the moment of truth. Does the lid fit over the base? base lid. Answer, oh yes. And that's all because I took that teeny little piece. Oops, kick the board. So I took this amount off 2 adjoining edges. So it's a tiny little piece. Oop. And it's so snug that getting it apart is quite interesting. And I will resolve that a wee bit. So I have got a very old 1-inch hole punch, and I'm just going to come in here at what I'm thinking is roughly the middle lid, and just create a thumb hole. Like that. So it's just going to make it easier to grasp the base. Right, okay, so we want that decorated, and I put it to one side. There it is. So we have these 2 pieces. I'm just going to grab, I had a moment and I suddenly thought, ooh, and what I was thinking ooh about was strips. Right, okay, so I've got another stamp set, and I'm picking out, this is the Kindest Expressions, and I'm picking out Oh Happy Day. And I need my Versamark and my embossing buddy. A block, of course, would be useful. Absolutely, Shaz, perfect fit. I can't remember where I first picked that up. I know where I didn't pick it up, but I can't tell you where I did pick it up. And I don't think it was an original thought. Might have been. But yeah, you just want it to be very slightly smaller, so let's make it slightly smaller by just cutting a piece off. Right, so that's Oh Happy Day. And white embossing powder. Ugh, wouldn't you just know it? There was me thinking it would be a small enough piece of card that I could actually put it in the box. But I can't. Now, if you use a spoon to tap your embossing powder, well, put your embossing powder on and then tap it off, turn it when you're tapping so that it's the bowl edge that you're tapping with. It doesn't matter with this, but if you tap that way, you're going to get dents. Ask me how I know. Yep. Did it for ages and ages and ages and kept thinking, why am I getting dented card? And then I realised it was because I was denting it. Right, trusty cheese board time. And let's get my blush. Where's my brush? There it is. There's a big lump of something. Oh, it's embossing buddy, that's all right. Right, trusty cheese board and a heat tool. Happy Day. And where did I put my brush there? So just brush the embossing buddy off the darker the card, again, the more important it is that you do that. There's our frame, which is going to go over there, but we're going to pop it up by running and I'm using the strips because I want long runs. If you don't have the strips, just use dimensionals. And the reason I'm doing this as a separate piece is because it can end up a little wobbly. This is a little wobbly. So to minimize the impact of that, you can use a separate piece and then just stick one to t'other, because you don't really want your box to be warped. Right, so that will go over there, like that. Ooh, just haven't got the bits showing. In fact, that one I'm going to move a little bit across if I can. No, it's staying where it is. It's fine, it's not showing, but it's very close to not showing. So just be careful if you are using, if you're adhering to the card for immediately, just be careful that you're not coming too far across. So if I go like that, am I reasonably square? No, not at all. Okay. Try that again. The trouble with doing this is as soon as you pull one side up, the other side goes down again. Couldn't make it up, could you? Come on, thank you. Right, let's just flatten that again. That's how not to put it on. So we'll try that again. I've got grid paper. Shall I use my grid paper? So if I'm square to the grid paper, I'm going to be square to the piece of card. That's better. A bit hanging over there, but that's fine. I will put a piece of this just there, just to give that support, because it is a little bit far across. And then this goes onto our lid, and I'm going to do that with liquid adhesive. So we've got a built-up lid. And this is just very fractionally smaller than the box. And if I do that and press firmly but not hard, you do have to just be very, very gentle. And I hadn't pressed too hard, Chaz, so that's why it wasn't too difficult. Now you can cover the sides if you wish. I'm not going to, because the point of this box is to show you that you can put this on top. Now this does go in a kind of circle, so it's got, you know, just decide which way up you are. Right, okay, so this is now dry. So this, for those of you who joined later, is white pearl effects with, or pearlized enamel effects, with a little bit of Lost Lagoon added in as I was swiping it across. But I added it to my palette knife. If you add it to the box, you're going to get a splodge, which will show through. So let us make up our box. Now these do come with a little insert where you can put a gift card. So the first thing I'm going to do is just burnish all the bits that need to be burnished. You can either tuck the scalloped edge in, or you can have it on the outside. Kind of feels like it ought to be on the outside, because why would it be scalloped otherwise? And you don't actually need any adhesive. I know, it's a worry, isn't it? So you go, oh, you burnish all of your sides, not just some of them. Thank you, Leslie. So let's just make sure we've got our holes, because we've got little holes there. So let's go in. In fact, no, we're meant to go in. No, we're not. So let's do side. And you want to make sure that the flap goes into the hole. Because that's what locks it in place, so it's like a pip box. That goes in there, like that. And as I say, you can either pop your scallop inside, or you can have it outside. And there is this little piece, which is where you can put your gift card if you wish. So that goes into the box, and you can actually stick it into the box. I'm not going to. But what I am going to do is add these two pieces to the corners. So we've just got this centerpiece showing. And again, I'm going to add these with dimensionals. And I think I might use strip again. Let me just check one thing. Just working something out in my head. It does work. No, what I want to do does work. It's going to look back. It's going to work back to front, but it is going to work. I think. May not. We'll see together. And we're just coming up to our hour. She says, trying to enunciate properly, because we started late. Thanks to my streaming software. I think my laptop needs a clean. It's getting a little old. I only use it really for streaming and strangely for printing out my postage labels, because for some reason I can't get my new laptop to connect to my label printer. Don't know why. Doesn't matter. But yeah. So I order my labels on my small laptop and I print them off on this laptop. It's weird things that one does. Right, okay. So these I want into the corner, like that. Still in my head trying to make sure that what I want to do will work. It may not, and if it doesn't, it's fine. Right, so this is the striped trim, iridescent striped trim. Now I'm going to try this cold, as it were. So can I it would work. Okay, so what I want is for that to do that. Will it? Come on, play nicely. And that. It will. It's going to let me, maybe. I might need to have a little bit of adhesive just holding those bits in place. Because what I want to do, no, it's not going to. Don't think it's going to. What I wanted to be able to do was to have a bow in the middle there, but at an angle. And I don't think it's going to play ball. So that's fine. If it won't, it's fine. We'll do something else instead. I'm just going to give it one more try. No, it's not. There's not enough space on these edges, so it's fine. So we'll tuck that in instead. And I think just leave it at that. So today we have a proper box, as in a proper made box. We have this made with a ribbon opening, this made with everything enclosed, and our scalloped box with the smushing in the middle. So those are today's projects. So I hope you found that interesting. Nice way to use some of these papers and the die cuts. And yeah, if you've enjoyed it, a thumbs up is always appreciated. If you are watching the replay, just a reminder, you can leave comments below the description bar. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you subscribe, like and comment, you will get more videos like this in your YouTube feed, which means you'll get to see more people making more things, which I think is not a bad idea. So thank you very much indeed for joining me today. I'm sorry we were a bit late, but I hope you had fun, and thank you, Julie. And yeah, I will be taking photos of these and popping them over on my website. If you are in the UK and you've got any of my sunflower vouchers, do remember they need to be back by the end of this week. So please, please, please get them in by then. Otherwise they will become void. And that's not a good thing. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Shaz. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, New Day Crafting the Mindful Way. Thank you, Gwen. Right, let me just say goodbye properly. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. There's my mouse. Thank you, Mary. So, thank you very much. Thumbs up, always appreciated. And I will see you Saturday for a recorded video. Don't know what it's going to be yet. Why would I know what it's going to be yet? Thank you, Judith. And I will see you all again very soon. Keep well. Keep dry if you're in Europe. And I will see you all again soon. Bye for now. Alexa, Greatest Hits Radio.
Greatest Hits Radio Oxfordshire from Mrs. Ray.